Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Today, we'll continue until now. Hopefully we'll finally finish it. Maybe today. Maybe if we do finish it today, I will find something else to do. Because I may want to play the Euro Truck Simulator. But hey, also new update. I may start a new comic about my lore on my model. I don't know when and how much it will cost, but we will see. Hello. Hey girl. Oh yeah, I have 4. I forgot, I have 4 babies. Well, they're not babies by now. Go rest. Hi, baby. Found the other 3. No, found another 1. Oh, there's another one. So many babies. I can't keep up. What have I done? Babies. Everyone is being crazy. Eventually. Give it all the pooping. There is never too much poop. But I may have too much stuff. Okay. Let's see. Lots of seeds. Okay. Good ideas. Wait, confession. Sure. Who do I break? You. I'm breaking someone new. Oh, there is the bunny one. And a froggy. Got it. So there is a bunny and a froggy. A bunny and a frog. It's fine, you young child. Bloop. And now the green bunny. Okay, got it. Why did you do that? You're so sick. Stupid. You'll be fine. Now what? What did you do that caused him to be so sick? Popping instantly. They won't be fucking sick. We don't know how to feed him properly. Check out that one. Illness and diarrhea, exhaustion. This is also used. Causing illness, no. Vomiting. Illness. Can you make something that doesn't cause illness? Well, that's it. There you are. Small crazy cat. Hello. Okay, I think I'm doing okay. I think. Why there's so much poop in here? Dino! Got him. Look. Look. Still so much to do. Oh, I have almost 200 inside of me. Giant rocks. I have probably tons of wood. I am right, I'm missing water. Why do I have so many beds anywhere? Rocks on the wall. This is all I don't need. Done. Okay, here's the oldest. 5163. The top. Stand next to say we'd have spirit help. +2. Nine. Cool. Should projectile 10 minutes every piece. Well, that is useful. Kill him. Okay. Oh yeah, I need to hatch my freaking egg. And new bunny has been born. And new bunny. And new bunny. That looks cute. Adorable. Baby. Okay, who do I send? Enjoy the beer. A golden egg. Let's see. You. The Wolfie. 86%. Wow, okay, do it. Will I do it? Yay! Dig in the heart. Yep, that should do it. Dang it, it's a normal egg. I see, got an egg. Well, there, better rest. No, go rest. Blue, 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 blue. Rest, rest. Everyone is drunk as fuck. Everyone is drunk as fuck. Well, that worked. So, just because you're drunk, it doesn't mean you need to cause trouble. Stop being drunk at my spot. I have so much food. I can't deal with it. Stop pooping everywhere. Well, they be sick, but at least they will eat well. At least none will actually die from it. Oh, come on, stop fighting, you stupid. 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 Why did you break the damn thing? Nope. Challenge some love to an egg. Well, I go to fight, not handling all this fucking pooping here. Well, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Wait. This way. Oh damn. Hello. Oh no. I just seen it at okay. This is no. No. I didn't say that I have a problem with this. Okay, now for something stupid with him. I didn't see it. Give me all your money. Thank you. Rich. No. Technically that would be 100% do it. Level X follower? Well, I could do a brainwash. Well, this I have no problem for 2 days. That is good. Now I don't need to worry. I make everyone a high. Now everyone is fucking sick. Why is everyone sick now? Are you kidding me? Well, I can only heal one. I'm sorry to tell you, you've been eating shit. What happened? Shut the fuck up. Everyone go fucking rest. I have so many sick. 13 sickness. Are you kidding me? Oh, okay. A new bunny has appeared. It's a yellow one. It is shiny. Shiny bunny. It's shiny bunny. Now that is funny. Open. I only 2 traps. Okay, everyone is sick. Well, I guess I don't need to be here. I go fight now. What? That's all you want for decoration? Welcome back. Oh my god, sleep. Okay, now we got a frog now. And that other bunny. Another bonbon. I guess because of the food everyone is being sick. Stupid. Well, whoever is sick is sick. Okay. Where's the other babies? Too many babies. Too many babies. Why can't I just punch him? Stop pooping everywhere. It's so annoying. Okay, who else I can put? Let's try the Froggy. Probably the most competitive. The Bunny. Wood. 81 to... They got denied. I'd rather have beer than having fun. Are you stupid? Well, okay. $61. $81, do it. Yay! Please, please. Give me the golden. Dang it, it's not golden. Well, now they both higher. Enjoy. Make a new one. Stop fighting, stupid. What is wrong with you? Oh yeah, I need to build 3 decoration. Dang it. 3 decoration. There, 3 decoration of building. $72 days. 94. I'm taking. Send him away. You idiots, stop. Stupid. Stop destroying my base. So much pooping. No wonder everyone is fucking sick. Well, this I know I don't need to worry about pooping. Honey, what should do? Why is nobody working? A new child has been grown. Yeah, a new child has been born. Okay, I'm done. I'm gonna try and fight. I will try and fight. No, the final boss. Let's try the final boss. The final boss. I have 40. Only 20. I'm coming back to destroy you. Ooh, I can choose a weapon. I like the hammer a lot. Choose the first projectile that chance. Sure. But let's give it a try. Hi, boss. It looks so cool. I know, overplay. No, I will not do it. Refuse. So betraying the lamb, you have shown my goals for declaring yourself false idol. That's strange, Omar. Okay, he's cool. He's strong. Finish him. First one is gone. Second one is quick. Damn. Here's a quick one. Here's a teleporter. Gotcha. Fool. Yep. Now. Okay, boss time. Beautiful title. How did you call me a false idol, bitch? Well, what are you, bitch? Damn it. Fuck you. There's a quickie. That's all I got to say. There, I got him. Oh no. Oh. That's gross. Okay, I got one. Whoa! Got it. This knife was real. Damn it. Okay, I can only hit him. Damn it. Got it. Fuck yeah, I got it. Yes, it's funny. Have some no more. Instead of conquering the victim, I am at your mercy. Are you to be a vengeful side of a merciful coward? No longer can you blame your will son. Well, it was an ass, but it's to give me his power. I spare him. I spare him. I spare him. Maybe it was a bad idea. Now what? Koala. Koala. What? Well, I finished the game. Woohoo! I finished the game. That was awesome. That was awesome. Now what? Well, I still win. Congratulations, you won the free. The pension wall inside. What's the difference? The one who waits. Accept. You're free.
Joel Tadash said hi my AI.
Hi Joel. Okay, few things. Check out the new redeems. Second of all, I am now using the different program, the one I showed you, the Vinyan. And check out how she look. Awesome! And I just finished the game.
Joltadash said just finished my stream. I'ma take a break from it and check the redeems later.
Okay, by the way, I just finished the game. What is this one?
Joltadash said congrats.
I literally just now finished the game. And the game crashed. What a timing. The game crashed. Well, that is funny. Now that's what I call funny. The game literally crashed. Okay, so I'm gonna finish Cult of the Lamb. Now what? Let's see. I've been thinking on trying to play, I don't know, something crazy or something chill. I don't know, let's try the chill one and then we go from it, I don't know. Okay. Joel, are you free now? I want to show you a few things. I love the dark form. And the dark form looks just so wrong. Okay. Bloop. And yes, I do need to change a game tag. I just finished Cult of the Lamb. So Chibi Drive. With 0 safety. That is funny. Okay, your truck. Your truck. And yes, I know it looks even messy. Let's see. Let me put the radio. Hopefully talk
Let's come straight to
nonsense.
calls about Rishi Sunak's smoking ban. Is it a good idea? Do you have any sympathy with the Tory MPs who have today decried this as an attack on people's freedom? And if those same people still think that cannabis, and all drugs for that matter, should remain illegal, is that double standards and hypocrisy, or do you think there's a legitimate difference between those two things? Let's talk to Lena in Bury St Edmunds. Lena.
Oh, hi, good evening.
Evening.
Sorry, Ben, thank you for taking my
Are they talking about drugs now?
I want to say that I completely agree with Simon, your last caller. I think it is an attack on our freedom. I myself, I'm an almost 69-year-old ex-smoker, yeah? I made the choice to start and I made the choice to stop. I walk between 15 and 20,000 steps a day with my dog. I'm a vegetarian. I choose to follow a diet that's low in ultra-processed foods. and I believe that I should be allowed to make choices about my life, because otherwise I may as well just move to Russia or China right now. I really, really disagree with it. And another thing, if you want to, well, in my experience, if you want to get teenagers to do anything, you tell them they can't do
Lena,
it.
Lena, you say you should have the right to smoke if you... No one's taking that away. You will have the right to smoke for the rest of your life if you want to.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is if the government of the day determines a policy that restricts people's individual freedoms, that to me is wrong.
It's not taking away anyone's freedom, is it? Because the children that are affected by this have never had the right to smoke. It's not like you or I having our right to smoke taken away. Does that make it? Does that change it?
No, it doesn't for me, because the children have to make their own choices. They have to be the families have to be supported in helping those children make the right choices. I get that.
But they're talking
horrible
nonsense.
habits. But there's also, like I said to your producer, if I was to decide to go potholing or climb a mountain, I would, and I got injured, the NHS would come and help me out, yeah? And the revenue that is actually raised through tobacco, taxes, it actually contributes more to the NHS than it takes out from it. I just think
it's disputed.
it's obesity.
But I understand the ideological object. I understand people who say, I just don't think on any level it's the state's role to stop people making bad decisions about their health. I get that. But what about drugs, Leon? I mean, do you think all drugs should be legalised?
No, definitely not.
Why?
Drugs are not controlled substances.
But if the argument is that people should be free to make whatever decisions they want, even decisions that are bad for their health,
Depends.
why do you take away their freedom to smoke a spliff or snort cocaine or whatever they want to do?
Because the laws are put in place for a reason, yeah?
But that makes
It's
no sense
because
to me
of
at
the
all.
law.
Why should someone have the right to smoke tobacco, but not the right to smoke weed?
Because
That is a good
that's
question.
the gateway drug, right? It gets people involved in
Because
going
it's
down.
illegal. But tobacco, you could say the same about tobacco if it was illegal.
No, it's not. No, nicotine is addictive. Yeah, it's an addictive substance. Yeah, I get that. And so the people should be educated. Yes, certainly to avoid it. But the government of the day should not be able to tell people.
Fine, but I would say that it applies just as much, if not more, to marijuana.
Well, it doesn't, because that's what I'm saying. If the government could actually manufacture marijuana and make taxes from it, there would be. But they can't.
They could. They're doing it in lots of other countries. They're doing it across the United States. They are decriminalising it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's probably to do with they don't have enough resources to police it, and that's a whole different issue. It just seems intrinsically not democratic for me, anyway, for the government of the day to make choices that will affect people's lives.
But
you think they should stop people smoking cannabis?
But now she said the drug should be legal, not illegal, as it is now.
I used to be a drugs counsellor, maybe that's why I'm so against it.
That's some others can experience it.
I realised for the medical purposes that cannabis does have a part to play here.
But I just, Lynn, I don't get it, I'm afraid. It's a great call. It's interesting to hear from you and your perspective on this. I don't get how they let people make the choice, give people the freedom to make the choice over what they put in their bodies argument. How you can make that argument and not support decriminalisation of drugs. I don't, what is the difference? It's just double standards. You say, oh, well, they're already illegal. That's not the basis on which we make laws. Lena, good to speak to you. Let's talk to Russ in Rugeley, in Staffordshire. Russ.
Hi, Dan.
Evening.
Good evening. I'm better terms this time, so I was a bit upset last time we spoke.
What was that about?
Just my wife had been ill and that.
Oh, I hope she's is she okay now, Russ?
It was the old Big C sort of thing.
Oh.
I don't know if you remember, I got a bit emotional.
I do. How's she doing now?
We had some news afterwards, so as of at the moment things are looking good and positive.
I'm really pleased to hear that. Ross.
Thank you, mate. I just felt a bit of an idiot afterwards.
Don't be silly. I remember that call. You had nothing to apologise for at all. Tell me about smoking, Ross.
Smoking, well, after what I've just mentioned, it's a bit, I suppose I'm being a bit of a hypocrite when I've just mentioned cancer, but, you know, I'm a smoker. I wish I'd never started, but we are where we are. I was in agreement with that lady just to start off with, and then she went all hypocritical on me. and let's just get it. There is no debate, just for the future talk shows anywhere around the world or in the UK, 100 years from now, the debate's finished. The gateway drug is nicotine. End of. So it's not even, I'm not going to have a big conversation with anybody. It's the gate. They want to know the gateway drug. It's the gate at the beginning that gets every...
So kids being banned from... So, Ross, kids being banned from buying it is a good thing, isn't it?
No. I'll tell you what. Well, no, yes. Yes and no. On paper, this ban is very, very clever. That's a smart way of doing it. You know,
I think it's very clever. It doesn't ban it. It doesn't take away anyone's freedoms today. It just says kids... We don't want our kids getting hooked on smoking.
But then... We don't live in a world on paper. We don't live in a utopia where an idea on paper will be exactly as you imagined, and it will work beautifully.
So what will happen in the real world?
In the real world, what will happen is what is already a thriving business in every town and city in this country will become huge overnight. Huge. Right. Now, the problem is, and I was reminded of my perception of people, i.e. politicians, people who live in, who maybe work in high end of the media or big organisations, and they're quite comfortable, and they don't live in the real world, they live in quiet, rural, well-to-do communities. They don't understand the real world. Now, I was driving to work earlier, and there was a guy on, I can't remember his name, but he was pro the ban, and I think he was from one of the anti-smoking lobbies, I think. He was talking to Tom Swarbrick. Okay. And he laughed and poo-pooed because this guy, he was like, it was along the lines of, these people that say it'll cause a boom in black markets. What's a load of rubbish?
Well, it won't for a while, though, because most people will still be able to buy cigarettes. So if a child wants them, all they got to do is get someone a bit older to buy them on their behalf.
What's going to happen is, right, in about 10 years' time, 5 to 10, over the next few years, you will see a massive boom in black market. You'll be paying the same prices you were paying for fags before, but they're fake. They exist now. It's a big, big industry, mate. We have got porous borders.
But again, Ross, that's an argument for decriminalising all drugs, isn't it? Because right now that's what we have with all other drugs.
No, what I'm saying, the only way we can do it is, for starters, we need to deal with the border issue, with contraband or whatever, whether it's people or contraband coming in. But the point is, we've got, and the manufacturing of the packaging is as good as, it's identical to the real thing. Yeah. Now, we have one of these shops, they're in every town and city, right? They all have a red sign up which says mini market. Really
the people,
glossy imagery on the glass.
And you're worried that people are going to get their hands on them illegally more and more if this comes into effect. You might be right in 80 years' time. I still think when most people will be able to buy them, and it's not, I think they're banning children from buying them, not from smoking them. It's going to be a long time before we have a massive black market, in my view. Ross, lovely to speak to you again. I'm glad things are a little bit better at home. Thank you for your call, Ross in Rugeley. Lots more on this still to come. Plus,
if you want to be part of this team, if you want to join this school, we all give and take, whether you're Hindu, you're Muslim, you're Christian.
The High Court has upheld a ban on prayer at one of the highest performing state schools in England today. In a moment, we'll speak to one prominent British Muslim to get his verdict on whether or not this is basically an Islamophobic ruling. 10:32 the time. Let's get some news headlines first. Here's Darryl Jackson.
Rishi Sunak's plans to ban people born after 2009 from ever buying cigarettes have passed their first test in the Commons. MPs voted in favour of the bill, which also includes a crackdown on young people vaping. Meanwhile, Rishi Sunak's spoken with his Israeli counterpart following the weekend's attack by Iran, urging him it's the moment for calm heads to prevail. Down the streets, as Benjamin Netanyahu thanked the Prime Minister for the UK's help shooting down missiles. And Dubai has been hit by major flooding after a year's rainfall in a day. It's left roads underwater while the world's busiest airports had to divert flights. LBC weather cold and dry tonight in most places, but showers will return to Scotland and Wales in a low of 2 degrees.
LBC, Nick Ferrari at breakfast.
Coming up tomorrow morning with Nick Ferrari at breakfast. Nick speaks exclusively to the
Nick
Ukrainian
Ferrari
foreign minister, and he's got a very direct message for his British counterpart, Lord Cameron. Plus, behind court rules that
That's a
London-based
cool
Michaela
show.
schools does have the right to ban prayer. We'll be live at the school
Summer
today to ask
nonsense,
whether
but
you think
yeah.
people should have a right to pray. All that and more coming up with Nick Ferrari at breakfast tomorrow morning from 7 o'clock here on LBC.
Nick Ferrari at breakfast. Listen on your radio and on Global Player. LBC.
Toner and ink.
Get yours in a blink, and for less than you'd think. At cartridgepeople.com. For unbeatable prices.
Cartridge People.
Printing sorted.
See online for our price promise.
School reunion. What am I doing getting these people together after all these years? The last time we shared a room, there was leg warmers and rah-rah skirts involved.
We can't help the uncertainty around getting old friends together. But when it comes to bringing your old pensions together, we can help. Transfer all your old pensions into one place. To combine, go to standardlife.co.uk.
I need fuel.
Transferring pensions won't be right for everyone. Money invested is at risk.
I'm
Provided by
almost
Phoenix Life Limited
halfway.
Trading and Standard Life. For full details, visit standardlife.co.uk.
Flying from Luton Airport. The Luton Airport Express takes you from London St Pancras to the terminal in as little as 32 minutes. From just £10. So let's go. Let's go for adventures with friends, sun and sea with the family, or a city escape somewhere romantic. There's no traffic and no stress. So pack your bags and let's go on the Luton Airport Express. Buy your tickets now at lutonairportexpress.co.uk.
With the biggest range of cars to buy entirely online, it's no wonder everyone's cinching it.
I cinched it during spin class. Think I'm gonna be sick.
I cinched it in this coffee shop.
What you having?
A 5-door hatchback.
This is your captain speaking. I cinched it before takeoff.
Hello, this is your captain.
With so many great reasons to buy, the nation aren't just nailing it, they're cinching it. Comparison against equivalent retailers. Visit cinch.co.uk/range claim. Mileage restrictions and terms apply.
If loose and missing teeth or dentures affect the foods you can eat
I'm
and make you feel
slowing
embarrassed about
down.
your smile, speak to us at TDC about how we restore full sets of teeth so you get your smile and your confidence back. To learn more and book your consultation, visit smileinadaday.co.uk. We're now part of Bupa.
This one's for the fed up. This one's for the hot and stuffy. This one's for everyone who thought they couldn't have aircon in their apartment or listed building. Because you can. For years, CallU have supplied and installed fully internal aircon systems with no mess, no fuss, and no external condenser. So head to callu.london today, before the summer's here. CallU, for a cool, comfortable home.
This is LBC with Ben Kentish. Call 0345 6060 973. Tweet at LBC. Text 84850.
Here's Emma on 84850. Emma says, I work in a cancer hospital. If you speak to people all day long, frightened for their lives, you would never argue against this smoking ban. It will take time to remove tobacco from society, but it's a step by step. Telling someone there is nothing else that can be done for them is devastating. Alex says, I'm 39. I remember when we banned smoking in pubs and restaurants, you and me both, Alex, and the outrage at the time, yet we now all agree that we are better off. And this from Gary says, banning vaping is a whole different ball game because it relies on technology that can be replicated by the average 15-year-old. Let's talk to Lewis, first-time caller in Camden, about the smoking ban. Lewis, welcome to the programme. Is it a good idea, do you think? Hi.
Hi, Ben. Good evening. I'm not saying I disagree with the ban. In my personal view, so a bit background about me, I am a paramedic, been a paramedic for nearly 12 years now. We all see the issues and the problems caused by smoking. However, I do think first and foremost we should be targeting vaping.
Talking about smoking.
That there's kids
where is Cher?
13, 14, and 15 that are vaping. Vaping or vapes are easily accessible for kids as much as we like to think they're not. They can get them off the internet, they can get them off with, you know, social media marketplaces. Cigarettes are an issue, but they're a little bit harder. What I am concerned about is we're stopping children from getting cigarettes, and then we're therefore indirectly leading them towards vapes, which are easier to get.
They are better for you than cigarettes, though, Lewis, aren't they? I think there's a lot of uncertainty about just how bad vapes are for you, but everyone seems to agree they're better than cigarettes.
Yeah, and I think the whole they're better for you than cigarettes. I think that's purely down to the chemicals. I personally don't believe that there isn't enough research. We haven't had enough time to see the long-standing effects of vaping because it hasn't been around for as long as what cigarettes have. You have to think, you know, you get a lot of people nowadays. How many times have you heard or seen people, they turn around and say, I've been smoking since I was 11 or 12. All we're doing is we're taking that away from the smoking and putting that into the vaping.
And the tobacco industry, has, you know, it saw which way the wind was blowing, didn't it? And it is now piling resources into vapes as this sort of quote-unquote healthy alternatives to cigarettes, because most vapes are still made by the tobacco companies, is my understanding.
Yeah, and I'm quite concerned as to how it's going to get policed as well. I mean, let's fast forward 10 years' time.
Smacky VT.
If this was to go in today,
said,
so
bro, why you listening to English radio?
15-year-olds
Yep.
under won't be able to purchase cigarettes. So let's forward
Yes.
10 years' time when them 15-year-olds are 20.
Hey Smacky, how you doing today?
Come hell or high water, they will find a way
Are
to
you
get a
busy?
cigarette when they're out socially.
By the way,
drinking,
Smacky, I got your redeems.
At friends, or they're out parties.
Let me
Well,
show
how
you
is
a
it gonna
few
get
things.
policed? We know that our emergency services and essential services.
I don't mind the
to
radio
point
too
of being
much.
broke.
Now it's off. Okay, Smacky,
Smacky VT said okay.
I want to share some new things. Okay, so first of all, you can now give me headpads. Headpads. I also made these 3 draw cookies. I also added the bubbles. Well, I guess it's just for hydrate, but oh well. What else? I added this one. Whee! I love the each one because it's fun. It's just it's like using the force and I'm just pushed away. So cool. I love the each one. Whee! The each one is my favorite. I also added the model swapping, and if you're in the pixel camera, it becomes pixelated. It's goofy, but it works. I'm streaming as a pixel, but if you're on the back, I'm all okay. I don't know why I look like this, but it's fun. And let's see, what else? I added so many. And lastly, it's a set cadence. I know you don't see it because she's on the side, but that's the set cadence. I had this set cadence. That's why it's 3000. But for example,
Smacky VT said nice.
Thank you. So yeah, there's a redeem, and if you want to swap my character, no, I don't need to do it manually, you just redeem it. So for example, you want May, and you just redeem it May. Blue. No, I am made the bunny mage. It's literally under redeem. I don't even need to do anything. And I can swap it whenever I want, instead of checking every single one of them. I think it's cool. It's cool. Okay. And I can move my hands as freely as I want. And no bullshit. And no bullshit too much. Just a little. Sometimes the eyes looks weird, but it's okay. I just need to look at the camera and reset the position. But hey, it works nice, I like it. Back to driving. Okay, back to driving now.
One way and the other side of the strip in single file. The staircases are only two.
And yes, I'm listening to live radio on LBC.
It's a strict one-way system, and they just don't have the facilities.
I think it's I think it's a show in England, if I'm not wrong. It's called LBC. They're talking about vape and why it should be.
It's not entirely obvious that they could, and it also.
It's not BBC, it's LBC.
And that's their main point, isn't it? Their main argument isn't that
LBC.
we can't do this, possibly there's no room, we'd love to, but we can't. The very clear...
It's LBC.
Said all good then.
Okay.
In particular,
yeah.
Because she doesn't want some Muslim pupils leaning
It's
on other
only talking show.
That seems, again to me, it seems a strange reason to ban it completely. Yes, of course, if
Oh.
there's any pressure, clamp down on that, come down on it like a ton of bricks, that's absolutely out of order. Is that a reason to stop people?
Damn, okay.
I'm not so sure.
Well, I didn't know.
Well, I said the key point that the school was very focused on is that
This is part of the
they
game.
don't have the internal facilities. Even at the very
It's
beginning,
literally
before
part
they
of the
introduced
game.
the praying
The
was
radio
being done
itself, it's
outside.
on. It's
Initially, the kids were
on
praying
the
using their
game.
blazers in the playground.
I can listen to
clearly that
other
wasn't
stuff,
ideal.
but I
Then the
can't
kids
listen to
started bringing
music.
in small portable prayer
all
mats.
good then.
You can get these very small portable prayer mats which fit in your pocket. I mean, my wife's got one, for example, which we use occasionally on trips. So,
By the way, I did turn off the
school,
meter.
I think is sincere in saying it hasn't got
Said thank you for the alert.
Thank you for the
Just finding I've seen a lot of
Can
people
try
today,
alert in
everyone else elsewhere
Smacky.
say this is
Always good to
effectively
see you.
discriminatory because the type of prayer that this case has at its heart is really only carried out by Muslims. Do you feel that at all? Do you feel that this is in any way sort of unfairly prejudiced against people believing in Islam?
I don't think it is. I mean, in particular, they don't have any other sorts of prayers either at this school. What the school does do is, in certain cases, on a case-by-case basis, if something is required for religious purposes, they allow it. So, for example, they do allow Hindu pupils to have a little string around their wrist, that Hindus have for religious
Or someone
purposes.
wearing a crucifix,
Yeah.
potentially.
And similarly, all the children are allowed to wear a hijab. I mean, there are rules about, how plain, the fact that a hijab has to be plain, limitations of what kind of buckles you're supposed to have. And of course, every pupil is allowed to wear a hijab, not just the Muslim ones.
Interesting, Mohammed. Thank you for coming on the show. Mohammed Amin is the former chairman of the
Extra
Conservative
pastor.
Muslim Forum. Ben Kentish here with you, LBC. In a moment, we'll talk more about Rishi Sunak's big smoking ban. Is it a good idea? Is it going to work? It's 10:47.
LBC, coming up tomorrow morning on Nick Ferrari at breakfast.
It was the question that stumped Foreign Secretary Lord Cameron. Why not
Nick
shoot down
Ferrari,
drones over
now
Ukraine as we have for Israel?
If you
want to avoid an escalation, the one thing you do need to avoid is NATO troops directly engaging Russian troops. But how does his Ukrainian counterpart respond to that?
I have new
that
questions
is
to ask,
fun.
and I'm looking looking forward to my upcoming meetings, including with Lord Cameron, to have an open discussion.
Don't miss my exclusive interview with Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba. Nick Ferrari at breakfast. Back tomorrow morning from 7. Listen on your radio and on Global Player. LBC.
Isn't it funny how some things in life are good when they're high, but others are good when they're low? Take exam grades, for example. Those are good when they're high. But your 5K time, now that's much better low. With Waitrose new lower prices, you can get the best of the highs and the lows. Because hundreds of good, high-quality favourites, like chicken breast, potatoes and unsalted butter, are now at a new, lower price. Waitrose. Food to feel good about. Selected stores subject to availability. Prices may vary.
It's so expensive.
Don't miss out on the best bits this summer. Watch tennis on your Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 FE whilst catching rays. The races whilst at a party. The 100-metre sprint whilst at a wedding, if you dare. Or any sports whilst you're roaming at home with your tablet. Plus claim free Buds FE with your purchase at Currys. Win-win. And hopefully, win. Wi-Fi connection required. Purchased by 30th of May 2024 from Currys. Claim Buds FE in white from Samsung.com within 30 days of purchase. T's and C's apply.
I don't care about this speeding up inside. I just try to get her as fast as I
Getting
can.
those steps in, not thinking about pizza, and definitely not clock watching. Only 56 and a half more minutes left. And the next,
Pizza.
that'll do. You're a millionaire. Lotto. Will you be next? Play on app. The National Lottery. Account terms, rules, and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
Summer's out.
No.
Rent a car with Enterprise and unlock it. Prepay and save 10% on your Enterprise rental this summer. Terms and conditions apply.
Search Kayak for great deals on flight. Wait, that doesn't say flights. Search Kayak for great deals on car hire. With Kayak, you can compare hundreds of car rental sites to find great deals. Even better, you see costs up front. And if it's flexibility you're after, Kayak's got a handy free cancellation filter. Lovely stuff. So next time you're searching for car hire, at home or for your holes, search Kayak and go see for yourself.
Leading Britain's conversation. Ben Kentish. Alexa, send a comment to LBC.
Still haven't really had a good explanation for whether or why it isn't hypocritical to support smoking staying legal while smoking cannabis staying illegal. Are there valid differences that you think, actually, do you know what, smoking is much less dangerous, it should be legal, cannabis is very different? Or are the MPs who bang on about freedom and the nanny state and individual choice and all the rest of it,
I don't care about either of the smokes because I don't
can't possibly
smoke.
decriminalise cannabis? Are they basically just hypocrites in your view? If you've got a view on that, 0345 6060 973. Talk to Nick in Holland Park in just a moment. Let's first have a look at tomorrow's newspaper front pages. A whole range of stories on tomorrow's papers. The Telegraph leading with the smoking ban. Leadership hopefuls defy Rishi Sunak over smoking ban. Nearly half of Tory MPs, including leadership frontrunners Penny Mordaunt and Kemi Badnoch, refusing to back the PM's flagship plan. The Times, police are looking at multiple allegations over Angela Rayner, with the investigation expected to take weeks, according to the Times newspaper. The Guardian returns to smoking. Tory divisions exposed as Sunak's smoking ban moves a step closer. The Daily Mail leads with the story that I was just talking to Mohammed Amin about. Victory for the bravest head teacher in Britain. So too the Express, victory for all schools as prayer ritual ban is backed. The Sun has a story about Kyle Walker becoming a dad for the 6th time. Kyle Walker aged, how old is Kyle Walker? 33.
Welcome
6
back,
children.
George.
The Mirror, once again, cigarettes, the Sig-free generation, and the Eye, lastly, the Middle East. Sunak gives Netanyahu a warning from world leaders. British PM urging his Israeli counterpart to show a calm head and avoid military.
Did you know other?
It's 7:53. Ben Kentish here on LBC. Let's talk to Nick in Holland Park about all things smoking ban.
Kinda.
I suspect the reason you haven't heard a logical
I just saw you.
hypocrisy of banning smoking but not drugs.
But hey,
there isn't one.
I want to show you a few
Before you
things.
might say that, go on.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I
think this policy that considers, I don't know what it is, like a kind of
Damn you.
dead cat thing. It's like a kind of
I already broken my truck.
conference. Let's
Said
pull it
one
out and
moment
see
I'm
what's
not
there.
back
This
yet.
looks good.
Okay,
They
okay,
defy any
okay,
contact
okay.
with reality. It's patriarchal.
Take your time
it's
working on it.
probably unenforceable.
Said I just turned on my PC and your page was open, LOL.
Oh, okay.
Two lines between this ban
Okay,
and
okay.
food and Brexit. I'll do food first.
Food and Brexit?
Yes, food and
looking forward to this.
Brexit.
Go on.
Food. Two different things. Food, first of all. You know, both of these both of those, food and Brexit, they're fundamental ideas of, are we allowed to do things that are bad for us? And anyone that thinks food is better than and not as addictive or bad for us as tobacco is just
It's not all food, Nick, is it? Most food isn't bad.
A lot of the food we eat, the junk food, the high sugar, the ultra processed. And by the way, people are so addicted to that. People who have terrible diabetes, they'll just keep eating until they have limbs amputated and they go blind. It's so addictive.
But junk food, it's in moderation. It's not going to do you much harm. Whereas smoking one cigarette is not good.
You could argue that smoking, if you did it very moderately, wouldn't do you too much harm.
Any cigarette will do you harm, whereas eating one burger is not going to do you harm.
One cigarette won't. Anyway, but again, this is down to, I think the broader point here is fundamental liberty. Are we allowed to do things that are bad for us? And I think the state has, I don't find it unreasonable that the state tries to educate, cajole us, advertise, persuade us to do the things it thinks will do us the least harm. But ultimately, we as individuals should be allowed to choose those things. And the reason I draw the parallel with Brexit is, you know, we had decades and then for the actual campaign pre the referendum telling us what a terrible act of self-harm it would be. Well, if it was that harmful, just like tobacco, why let us do it? And the point was, it was an act of freedom of choice.
I'm not sure you can totally link Brexit to smoking or fat.
Well, I'm not dealing with them health-wise or outcome-wise, but in principle of the government's patriarchal stance on what it can and cannot let us do to harm ourselves.
Would you support decriminalising all drugs?
100%.
Right. So you're consistent. What about the cost to everybody else? Because it's not just the individual that's harmed by smoking, is it? We've heard the cost. The government says it's 17 billion.
Right. I would suggest that if we allow the freedom of choice and the liberation for people to do harm to themselves, that should also come with the personal liberation comes with responsibility. So I would draw the line at providing health care or help for people that harm themselves.
What if you I don't know, you decide you want to ride a motorbike rather than a car? What if you like abstain? You know what I mean? It's tricky.
That's an interesting point, but with a motorbike or a car, I believe that you should be forced, and with a bicycle as well, I ride a bike, you should be forced to have insurance that will pay for you if you're in an accident, because this is your choice, same as if you climb a mountain.
So the NHS, if you decide to ride a motorbike and you have a crash, as you're statistically more likely to do, or more likely to be injured, the NHS shouldn't treat you?
Not unless you've got insurance.
I don't see how you can draw those distinctions, Nick, because, I mean, where do you draw the line? You know, is somebody who runs a marathon, should the NHS not treat them? Because on the one hand, it's healthy, but, you know, you put your body on... Someone who runs an ultra-marathon, putting body under strain, they're deciding to put their body on the line. Do you see what I mean? It's tricky to draw those distinctions without, I think, basically saying any vaguely dangerous activity is something the NHS isn't going to help. But you're consistent, Nick, to be fair, on the drugs and the cigarettes, which is more than can be said, I think, for most of those Tory MPs that voted against this ban. Lovely to speak to you. Good call, Nick. Thank you. Final word on this. Gary, first time caller in Hamilton. Hi, Gary.
Hello, Ben. Listen, Ben, this is one of those laws which sounds good on paper. When you delve into it, it becomes absolutely impractical. Now, what's never been talked about are tourists. Okay, now everybody's talking about, like, we could ban it and stop it, but supposing you're a tourist, supposing you come over and you're over 18 years of age, or whatever, and you come from France and you spend the weekend, you want to go to the shop to buy some cigarettes, how are you going to do that?
Well, you're not, because the law in this country wouldn't allow it.
But you are, yeah, so that's going to, okay, if that goes down that route, then that is going to obviously impact on the tourism.
What, you think people won't come to the UK because they can't buy cigarettes? They'll just bring them with them, Gary. They'll just bring them with them.
Yeah, and what happens if you run out then?
Well, you make sure you wouldn't.
Yeah, but
Gary, people aren't going to go, I'm not going to London in case I run out of fags.
Ben, I understand that
said,
you're
okay, I'm here.
for this, okay?
Okay.
In my 60s now. I packed up and
Well, feel free to check the new readings now if you want. I'm also using the new program.
You're not really saying we should let our kids get hooked on smoking. Just so
And I noticed one problem at the moment.
The point is the impracticality of it, Ben. How is a shopkeeper going to say, you know what, you look 25, you look 27, I
said bubbles is spelled with 2 B's.
I know, but it's like a splash of water anyway.
Because the kids just have fake ideas.
It's misspelling bubbles. Bubbles. Dang it.
It's tough to enforce, I agree with you, but I think
oh no.
I don't think the fact that it's difficult to enforce should necessarily mean that the policy shouldn't be introduced in the first place. You're right, of course it is. It's not easy the way they've gone about this. It would have been far easier. They just said, right, smoking from 2 years' time, smoking, buying
I know.
is illegal. They haven't.
It's kind of broken, but it's not because of me. It's because of where I got it from. It was broken. I think the file itself is broken. Because you need 2 people for it. And I can't move her even if I want to. It's kind of broken, but it's not because of...
Said Satch.
I will try to change it to something else, maybe. But at the moment, it's just a sad cat. Even though it's a little broken. For now. I may try to look for something else for it. Hopefully it won't be as broken. By the way, for the model swap I made for May. So for example, if you already May, it's automatically swap to May or Chibi or Candy. But I don't have the other dark form. Dang it, because I didn't set it up. Okay. Okay, never mind, does work. There. I just didn't click.
Joel Tadash said, oh, but you still have to do it manually.
Nope. No, I don't. I can just play. You can, for example, try to redeem May or someone else and I will give you the points back. But just to see it, I can play and it will still work.
Was lawful though. Ajmal Masur,
and take it for the cause.
Says it's clear one religion is affected more
I know.
By the ban.
Part of my identity is to pray 5 times a day.
Okay,
right to pray.
I must tell you, this is the most favorite redeem that I made. I made an iPad. I also made the heat one for 700.
Said spooky.
This one is my favorite. You just hit me in there. You can hit me the fuck away. You can hit the model away.
Joel Tadash said wow.
I love this one a lot. Also, if I'm being raided, You will see something cool, but I can't show it because nobody is rating me yet. Also, if you give me bits, it will show something. Yeah, I said many things to different things. So yeah, not everything is channel points. So for example, so if you redeem even 1 bit, it will show confetti and I think music, if I'm not wrong. It should show confetti. So it's for rain. I think I added a fireworks. I think, but I don't remember. I need someone to read me to test it. But yeah, those are the things. Also, I added the camera lenses, which is the pixel camera. It will make it pixelated, like very pixelated. And if you want to turn it off, you just redeem it again. I also have the old TV, which you will see me like this. I'm in old TV. No, I don't want to live in the past.
Jotadash said that hurts my eyes.
Okay, I cancel it. There. I turned it off. So yeah, those are the new redeems for now. And I also added the wa. So if you redeem wa, I will do wa.
Generations. The youth centres closed, tuition fees treble, the housing crisis allowed to get worse and worse and worse just to appease a few NIMBYs who don't want the homes we need to be built. I could go on. I could talk about the cuts.
I think it should be more than enough.
I could talk about
nice
the massive growth in 0 hours.
Oh, if you redeem food now, it will throw cookies at me.
Some young people are still legally
not a lot, because I only paid
than others
one.
that are a few years older. In pretty much every area, young people's needs has not just been neglected. It's not that it's been actively just forgotten, or passively forgotten, I should say, by politicians. It is that it's been actively ignored and neglected. Time after time after time, when this government and past governments have needed to say
I pressed parking by
so
accident. Oops. Wait, did it work? Yeah, it just worked real fast.
Because those young people, it's not the case that they're
I
necessarily
still need
get
to
more
fix
interested
it.
in politics as they get
It's
older.
super cool.
They've grown up in a time and in a system that has led them to think that politics is irrelevant, that voting
But
is
hey, that's
pointless,
cool.
that no one in a position of power cares about.
So Emma, say hi to her real
Now that's a problem
Okay.
from a sort of political perspective. It's also not a great place to be social. If you've got millions of young people feeling like the system just doesn't work for them, feeling alienated, feeling angry.
My character is sleeping.
Not a good place for our country to be.
By the way, on today's show, they're talking about vaping and cigarettes.
If you consider yourself young,
and if drugs should be illegal.
I don't want to offend anybody, but if you think, you know what,
Sorry, legal, not illegal.
Are you engaged in politics? Are your friends? And even if you
And so far, it sounds like very much of nonsense.
Generations aren't, have just turned away.
They're talking about vaping and cigarettes and some drugs here and there.
Is that actually this is just a generation of young people that don't care about the bigger picture, that are too obsessed about their own lives, whatever they're doing on social media, owning the right trainers, getting the likes on Instagram. They just don't have the headspace for more important things. They don't care about civic duty, voting, and all the rest of it, because they're just self-centered. I've heard that argument made. You might like to call up on
Okay.
I think it's nonsense, but I know that there are
I don't care
people
about
who think
smoking because I
Why
don't
are so many young
smoke.
people switched off from politics? What do you
But
think we
hey,
can do
if
to change
people are too addicted to it, I will not stop them from having it.
is tonight. you've got about
I mean, it's a
15 if you want to
choice.
vote in the May elections to go on gov.uk, search for register to vote, and do it. It expires at midnight tonight, 11:59. After that, you won't be able to vote. So if you haven't done it, go and do it. But those figures are pretty bleak, aren't they? A quarter of young people
I'm driving in here.
say they believe their needs are regularly considered by politicians. So 3/4 of young people don't think politicians regularly consider their needs. Less than a third feel that those in charge of the country over the last few decades have made decisions that have had positive impact on their lives. And do you know what? I said again, I don't think.
2 hours.
Let's talk to Amy Hart, reality TV star, who is supporting the Give an X campaign, encouraging young people to vote. Amy, it's great to have you on the programme tonight. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
What got you interested in this campaign? Why do you think it's so important that young people are engaged in politics? Good evening.
I got involved because My Life, My Say is an amazing, amazing charity that are just so committed to getting young people politically engaged, especially young people that wouldn't usually be politically engaged. And I've loved all the work they do, and I've worked with them.
I don't
on many
have
different projects,
time.
and their mission is to get every young person registered to vote. And I've been banging this drum amongst my friends since I was able to vote. And so many of them have always said, you know, oh, there's no point, it doesn't affect us, nothing will change. And I just want to show people that things will change, but you've got to get out there and vote. You've got to make a difference by giving us an X.
It's a spiral, isn't it? Because young people say, well, politicians don't care about us. And the politicians, the ones I speak to, will say privately, they're not going to go and say this publicly. Well, you know, yes, they get ignored because they don't vote. They're not the ones that are influencing the elections in the way that pensioners are. So it's this cycle we've got into that can only be broken by either politicians saying, do you know what, even if they don't vote, they need our attention, or, as you say, young people saying, right, I've had enough of this, I'm going to start trying to have a say.
Yeah, and given that 7 out of 10 young people do vote in reality TV shows, which is why a lot of us have got involved in this particular campaign, is, you know, you already vote, so vote. So 7 out of 10 young people vote in reality TV, Love Island, Big
Almost there.
You know, I've said about like things like the NTAs, the TV BAFTAs and stuff. People go online and register to vote for those. It takes probably less time actually to go on and register to vote in an actual election that is going to impact your life. Yeah, that's what we're trying to encourage people, just that voting is so important.
Why do you think, Amy, why do you think young people aren't? Why do you think more and more are just saying what your friends say? What's the point? They don't care about us?
I just think they're just not engaged in politics. And I think people think, because what we see on TV is a lot of people in suits in the House of Commons shouting at each other and stuff. I think they see that. They don't realise that politics is all around us. I've had it on Twitter before where people...
I still call it Twitter. It's always going to be Twitter to me.
It's always going to be Twitter. It's like when you and your friends get married, you still call them by their name before. But I would post things like about politics and on Instagram as well. And people always say to me, oh, no, you've got to leave politics off social media, Amy, leave it off. And then you go on their profile and they're sharing change.org petitions about the bins not being collected on time, about, you know, like postal strikes and stuff. And that is, they don't realise that is all politics, and politics is so in our everyday lives.
They care about the issues, don't they? But they've been put off by Westminster, as you say, the way that world works, the way that our leaders talk or don't talk to and about young people. It's not that they're politically disengaged, they've just lost faith in how the system works.
Destroy it.
Yeah, and this is the thing, we've got to get more people, like one day we will
They
be
need to be crushed.
So we've got to get people really engaged
burger.
and show them that they can make a difference, and young people
Oh
can
wait,
make
no,
a
it's
difference.
sushi.
It's so interesting. I find it fascinating. Do you think this comes back to
Stupid
things like
ass.
housing? Do you think this comes back to the lack of action, things like climate change? If you look at the issues that I think young people care most about, and you look at where the government in the last few years has done least, there's probably
They're
quite a
lucky
lot.
they ran away.
Yeah, there is.
They
and,
have
you know,
liberated
these issues are so
themselves.
important to young people, but I always say to my friends,
Oh,
you
I'm
can't sit there and
sleeping.
moan about it if you don't try and do something about it.
I sleep if I want
You know,
to.
and like literally, I'm not saying get involved in politics. I'm not saying
Not saying,
like,
you know,
literally,
become an MP.
Yeah.
You're saying
No, become
go
an-
down to the
you know,
local polling station
Yeah.
and have a vote.
literally, the the easiest thing you can do is before midnight tonight, register to vote, and then go and vote in the local elections and then the general election later on in the year.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
too
really interesting.
close.
Amy, it's great to have you on. Is there anything else that you think we haven't covered? I mean, you've been talking to a lot of young people about this. Is there anything else that you pick up when you're talking to them, when you're talking to your friends, that you think, do you know what, that's a big issue that doesn't really get covered when the media or politicians talk about this stuff?
No, I think we've covered everything. We're very good at this, Ben.
We are. We should do it more often.
We should.
Amy, it's great.
See you next week.
I'll see you next regular slot on a Tuesday night. Amy, you're always welcome. It's lovely to have you on. Thank you. That was Amy Hart, reality TV star who is supporting the Give an X campaign, which encourages young people to vote. The My Life, My Say organisation, which do great work.
I don't think anyone care about
All they
politics.
say is to young people, you know, this is your country, this is your world, these are your lives. If you don't feel the people in positions of power are taking you seriously or listening to you or acting in your interests, well, you might be right, but do something about it. So whatever age you are, you've got until midnight, I say it again, to register. Whoever you want to vote, just vote. Just vote. I don't care who you vote for.
I'm too tired to do
Midnight
it.
tonight, you won't be able to search register to vote. You can do it on gov.uk.
Oh.
But I do want to focus, and there's lots of text coming in saying, oh, you just described me, this is Sue, I'm 62 years old, I'm totally disengaged. A lot of people are disengaged about politics at the moment, but it is disproportionately the young.
Beer.
And I think there's good reason for it. I think there's very good reason.
Then why are they
Because it's the
doing
young
this?
whose needs have been completely and utterly betrayed by all parties. This isn't, for me, it isn't party political. I don't hear Keir Starmer and Labour talking about the needs of young people. I don't hear anyone talking about it. Because they think, well, actually, do you know what? They don't vote, so we can afford to discount them. That's basically what goes on. Maybe not completely, but you say to any politician, do you care more about pleasing pensioners or do you care more about pleasing people in their 20s? And every single politician will give you the same answer. It's rational, it's logical for them. They've got to get re-elected, and the people that vote are older generations. So those are the ones that get the political focus. But that's a cycle, isn't it? As I was just talking about with Amy. Because the more young people see that, the more young people see that they aren't the priority, the more go, well, why should I care? They're not interested in me, so why should I be interested in them? Why should I care what's going on in politics? Why should I vote? It saddens me. I think it's a very unhealthy attitude towards the act of the responsibility, I would say, of taking part and voting. But I also totally understand it. I've got a lot of friends in the same boat. They say, well, what have they ever done for me? What difference does it make to me if it's Keir Starmer or Rishi Sunak? Why? None of them care about me. And you know what? Hard to disagree if you ask me. Why do you think so many young people are disengaged and switched off from politics? And if you were in charge, what would you do to change it? Give me a ring, 0345 6060 973. You can WhatsApp the same number.
I do?
You can text 84850. Come to your calls on that.
I showed them a different way.
It's 11:16.
Because their current way doesn't work.
Straight to the point. It's not a
Simple
terrible
as
mistake this time, and it's 3 mistakes. Nick Ferrari at breakfast on LBC. So what would Labour do? Listen on your radio and Global Player, the official LBC app.
Imagine, it's Wednesday. 1 minute you're at the gym, you're doing it, getting those steps in, not thinking about pizza, and definitely not clock watching. Only 56 and a half more minutes left. And the next, that'll do. You're a millionaire. Lotto. Will you be next? Play on app, the National Lottery. Account terms, rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
I'm Fiona McKillop, specialist in periodontics at the Darwood and Tanner Dental Practice. If you've struggled to find the right solutions for your gum problems, our team are here, ready to give you the very best in dental care and implant dentistry, so you can regain your natural, healthy smile.
From gum care to dental implants, Darwood and Tanner, celebrating 30 years at the forefront of world-class dentistry.
To find out more and meet the team, start at darwoodandtanner.co.uk.
At Big Motoring World, we love giving you a huge choice of low-priced cars. But we're bigger than that, because we're big on all the things that matter to you.
Oh
like
man, party sucks.
on multi-point checks, so you can drive away with confidence and peace of mind. Britain, we've got you covered with carefully chosen cars you can trust. See bigmotoringworld.co.uk. We're big on what matters to you.
I know what.
Not shopped at Ocado, but you've heard it's the best. Now you can shop for 25% less.
Now turn into a dragon and fight
delivered
space
free
pirates.
to your address. There's an Ocado just for you.
First-time customer, get 25% off your grocery shop and free delivery.
There's an Ocado
Still like this.
New customers only. Minimum
Late,
spend £60.
reckless.
£20. Geographical restrictions apply.
Plus
Conditions
they
at
get
ocado.com.
paid.
Verify at info@ocadoretail.com.
-5.
Media. Kickstart your career.
Did you just lose 5 million?
For your 10 or 12 at this unique media school. Search Global Academy.
Did you just lose 5 million?
On LBC. Call 0345 6060 973.
What the fuck?
His YDA on WhatsApp. Is this some sort of joke, Ben, or are you a bit thick? Possibly, mate. This
I
country
don't
offers
have
nothing for
this
young people.
much.
That's literally the point I've just been making. But what is it specifically? If
was
you're a young person,
500,000.
you think, do you know what, these politicians don't do anything for me. Isn't the answer to that to get more involved and try and vote them out? And try and vote in some that do?
million.
Or is the issue that young people don't vote because they look at all the politicians across all the parties and think, actually, none of them care about me. None of them are going to do what I want them to do. None of them are going to prioritise me and my generation. So really, what is the point? Because I say it again, if I was them right now, and I don't consider myself old, but I don't know if I can get away with young, that is exactly what I would conclude, to be honest with you. This from James. I've got 4 kids aged between 18 and 28. Not one of them has a clue about politics. I take them down to vote. They choose the one with the picture they like. That from James around Heathrow. Seems enough, doesn't it? Karen's in Chippenham on this. Karen, evening.
Hello, Ben.
That is
Hello.
funny.
Well, I think a lot of people are very, very interested in politics, and they're particularly interested
I
in
disagree.
environmental issues, green issues, and look at the influence that Greta
Not many
Thunberg
gives a shit.
has had for a start.
In my
But I
opinion.
think it's not just young people who are disillusioned with the political system that we have. I think people across all ages are disillusioned with the system, and the system has led us all down. We have billionaires and multi-millionaires who are donating to parties, particularly the Conservative Party, and seeming to influence their policies. We have
said I will be in and out. I'm doing something important.
That we don't hear a lot about, but they're influencing many Conservative politicians. But when it comes to people from all age groups, we simply don't have a system there that actually represents any of us, and we should all be working together to common goals that's best for everybody. And I think one possible solution is that when it comes to the next general election, there should be an extra box on the ballot paper, and a box, it sounds like a cliche, but something along the lines of none of the above, because people who really
They do well, wouldn't they, Karen? I think a lot of people would vote for none of the above.
Yes, because I think many people really want to vote, but there's nobody to actually represent them. In many respects, the Labour Party and the Conservative Party are offering the same thing. Keir Starmer's already said that things aren't going to change for 2 years if the Labour Party come into power. We want something completely new and something that represents the people, not those that have got money and who can influence things to their own ends.
You're right. Of course you are, Karen. Say a lot of people of all ages are pretty fed up at the moment and pretty switched off. It is far, far a bigger problem amongst young people, though. It's not the case that, millions and millions of people in their 60s and 70s are saying politicians don't do anything for me. Some are, of course they are, but it is predominantly and it's disproportionately young people. I think understandably, because they have been betrayed, haven't they? But for years by politicians.
Yeah, do you know, we've got actually loads of very, very good MPs across all parties. And what I think would be a really good thing in the next election, people who do want to vote for a particular person and not just none of the above, that if they vote for the very best candidate within their own constituency, regardless of which political party it is, completely put aside party labels, but if they've got a really good MP who really is working for the people, for the constituency, for the best interests of the country, vote for that candidate, and then we can have a good mix of really good MPs across all parties. And what would be really good, I think, for the after the next general election, is if we have a power-sharing executive and cooperation between the parties, while the whole system
More like a government of national unity.
Yes, definitely.
Interesting. Karen, good to have you on as always. Thank you very much indeed. That's Karen in Chippenham. Ethan is calling from Prudhoe. Have I pronounced that right, Ethan? In Northumberland.
It's pronounced Prudder. So
Prudder.
Close enough.
Good to have you on. Thank you for calling in. Young people turned away, turned off from politics. Does that fit with reality for you? Do you understand why that's the case?
I think a lot of the reason why it's the case is because the reason young people don't want to get involved in politics is your level largely doesn't matter. And the first past the post system we have currently, your vote typically doesn't tend to matter. Elections are like winner takes all, pretty much, especially constituency elections.
So do you think a different voting system would... I don't know. Do you think young people say, oh, well, if we had proportional representation, then I won't, but I won't vote on the first past the post, or are they just not that engaged in the first place?
I think young people are massively politically engaged. They're just not engaged in electoral politics itself. I mean, like one of your early callers said, there's lots of issues that are heavily political issues, but that people just aren't involved with because they don't see it as being political, because they see politics as just the electoral side of politics. You can affect change within electoral politics, but only if electoral politics would actually accept them and allow their voice to be heard.
It's worse than that, isn't it? It's not just that they care about different things. It's that the things they care about have been actively ignored by mainstream politicians. You know, if you say to young people, what do you want? They'd say, I want controls on rents, I want more houses to be built so we can actually afford to get on the property ladder, I want tuition fees looked at so I don't leave university with, 50 grand of debt. And then all those things over the last 10 years, the leaders have done the exact opposite of what young people say they care about and need.
I completely agree with that, and I'd say one of the main reasons why that happens is because young people aren't able to vote for people who they feel represent them. We have pretty much a two-party system in the UK that only has certain ideologies actually represented within government, and a lot of young people feel they fall outside of that two-party binary, so they want to vote for the parties, but they don't feel like their party has any chance of getting in because of the fact it's so heavily dominated by these two single parties.
Interesting. How old are you thinking about this?
I'm 18.
18?
Yeah.
And when you chat to your friends about this stuff, if you do you just find them totally disengaged, or what? Do you talk about politics? Do you talk about these issues? Do you talk about voting? Or does it not really come up?
I mean, I think it's essentially because I'm heavily interested in politics, but all my friends are as well, so I surround myself with people who are interested in politics. It's something I'm very passionate about, something I talk about. I do politics after A-level, and I find everyone else around me, even some people who are less interested in the class, are still interested in politics as a whole because it affects all of us, and a large portion of young people are starting to realise that politics is a massive thing in our lives and can affect change, but only if the system allows us to affect that change.
And will you vote?
I will vote.
Will your friends vote?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are groups of young people that are politically engaged. Do you think I'm right to talk about housing, climate change, education as the big issues that affect your generation, Ethan? Are there others that I've missed?
I don't feel those are the biggest issues. I mean, I've been doing my university applications, I've had to worry about tuition fees, I've had to worry about cost of student accommodation, I've had to worry about cost of housing when I'm older. And obviously climate change is a large existential issue in itself, and those issues will primarily affect our generation because the people who are in Parliament, the people who are voting for a lot of these people are typically older, that has the house already, probably not going to be fortunate around long enough to really see much of the effects of climate change compared to how we're going to see them. So, and also the voter finish certification, these issues aren't affecting them. So these issues aren't really brought up in mainstream politics as much as they should be.
And yet in the last, 2-3 years alone, what have you had? You've had Rishi Sunak watering down the UK's climate change obligations. You have had Michael Gove and Rishi Sunak spectacularly watering down plans to give renters more rights. Why? Because the landlords and Tory backbenchers, many of whom are landlords, didn't like it. You've had Keir Starmer totally ditching his promise to scrap tuition fees while keeping his promise to maintain a triple lock-on pension. Is it any wonder at all that young people look at those three things alone and learn the rest and go, they don't care about us. We are not so low down the priority list that why on earth should we be voting for anyone?
Next week I won't be streaming because there is an
Said I'm like locked in on a conversation.
You sort of understand it a bit. I'm not saying it's okay because the Tories are meant to act in the national interest. But
I wanted to say that I won't be streaming next week.
I'm not defending
because there isn't a holiday here.
But what's Labour's excuse? What's Labour saying? They talk about mental health and schools and breakfast clubs. There are some things when it comes to education that are pretty good.
The holiday itself should be Monday night.
Where's the big plan to sort out university fees? Well, they've
Said I see hope you enjoyed it.
I probably
Young people crying out for an alternative.
Thank you.
They ain't getting it from any of the opposition.
Probably yes, a lot of food.
Thank you. Terry's in West Cumbria on this. Evening, Terry.
Hello, Ben. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Are you okay?
Oh, stupid puppies.
Yeah.
Where are you on this, Terry?
Well, right. I'm 45 years old, yeah. And when I was a kid, I remember, like, I used to listen to, like, sort of talk radio stations and stuff.
What am I even
I was
doing?
talking about, like, young people's involvement in politics. What is the obsession with, like, young people being involved in politics?
Obsession?
Have you seen the House of Commons?
Yeah. I've been there quite a lot. What do you mean?
Well, I mean, young people.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 45, as I said, but, like, when I was at school, why not teach, like, how Parliament and politics works at school?
Ah, do you think that's part of the issue, that young people just aren't getting educated? They don't feel they understand politics because they're not getting taught about it?
You don't, like, did you, like, I did not went to comprehensive school, and, like...
Me too.
Not part of the syllabus ever involved
terrible.
About how politics works.
No, terrible. Absolutely nothing. I think it was outrageous, Terry. You get taught how to measure the, what's it called? Hypotenuse of a isosceles triangle.
You've got to know your triangles.
I've literally never once used that skill since we learned it in Year 9. And yet you get taught about algebra and vectors and, I mean, all the rest of it, tectonic plates and types of rock. I'm not saying don't. What, and you can't find any time in the syllabus to tell people how the actual country they live in works and how they can influence it.
Exactly, or how a mortgage works.
And
yeah, you know what I mean?
It is, when you put it like that, it's bonkers. We're saying, why aren't kids engaged in politics? They're not being taught about it. They don't understand it.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I don't know what it is now. Obviously, like I say, I'm 45, but like, I imagine it's the same old rubbish here that
I never been taught about politics.
Maybe like, it's good to know the length of a triangle once in a while.
I'm being slightly silly there. I'm not saying you shouldn't learn that. But the idea that we have time to teach that in the curriculum, but they can't find an hour a week to teach kids about what the difference between a council and a government is, or how elections work and how you can vote. It's just no excuse to it, I'm afraid. There's absolutely no excuse. And I'm interested, you asked the question, what's it like now? Let's put that out there. If you've been at school recently, maybe at school now, do you get any sort of political education? Do you get taught any of this stuff? It's a great point, Terry. Thank you for the call. More on that in a moment. And
we can see that legally held opinions from people who are going to win national elections is no longer acceptable.
Police ordered to shut down a conference for right-wing politicians in Brussels today, with Nigel Farage and Suella Braverman among the speakers. We'll speak live in a moment to Anne Widdecombe to get her thoughts on what is being called thought police. It's 11:31. Let's get some news headlines first. Here's Daryl Jones.
Rishi Sunak's plans to ban people born after 2009 from ever buying cigarettes have passed their first test in the Commons. MPs voted in favour of the bill, which also includes a crackdown on young people vaping. Meanwhile, Rishi Sunak's had a phone conversation with his Israeli counterpart following the weekend's attack by Iran, urging him it's a moment for calm heads to prevail. Benjamin Netanyahu's weighing up a response. And the High Court's ruled that a prayer ban at a school is lawful. A Muslim student claimed the policy at the Michaela Community School in North London was discriminatory. Her mother says she's dismayed at the outcome. LBC weather cold and dry tonight in most places, but showers will return to Scotland and Wales with a low of 2 degrees.
This is LBC.
Imagine, it's Wednesday. 1 minute you're at the gym, you're doing it, getting those steps in, not thinking about pizza, and definitely not clock watching. Only 56 and a half more minutes left. And the next,
pizza.
You're a millionaire! Lotto, will you be next? Play on app, the National Lottery. Account terms, rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
What to do when you've got no plans? Well, in just a short train ride, you can open the door to a rip-roaring roller coaster!
Just roll with
and
it.
a maid-filled aquarium, a spine-chilling castle, or a very friendly llama named Lady Marmalade. From animal parks to creepy castles, jump on a Thameslink train and open the door to more this spring. Book tickets and pay no booking fees at thameslinkrailway.com, where every stop is a story.
Join the nation in cinching it. Buy your perfect car online and get first-class assistance from start to finish. Your new car, madam, with friendly customer service available 7 days a week.
Hello, this is Cinch. How can I help you?
An expert walkthrough of your new car when it's delivered. And a faff-free 14-day money-back guarantee. Hardly surprising Cinch is rated excellent on Trustpilot. So join the nation in absolutely cinching it. Search Cinch and buy your next car today. Returns subject to mileage restrictions, T's and C's apply.
The Co-op member price big event is now on. Make extra savings on breakfast. Cut the cost of your cupboard fillers. Clean up on spring cleaning essentials. And enjoy tasty offers and treats. Find even more member prices in store. Selected products subject to availability. Prices may vary. Co-op Group food stores only. Excludes independent cooperative stores. Limited time only.
School reunion. What am I doing? Getting these people together after all these years. The last time we shared a room, there was leg warmers and rah-rah skirts involved.
We can't help the uncertainty around getting old friends together. But when it comes to bringing your old pensions together, we can help. Transfer all your old pensions into one place. To combine, go to standardlife.co.uk. Transferring pensions won't be right for everyone. Money invested is at risk. Provided by Phoenix Life Limited Trading and Standard Life. For full details, visit standardlife.co.uk.
You could be our next Win Plus winner. Enter now to win big cash prizes and loads more at winplus.co.uk. 18 plus, GB only, T's and C's apply.
This is LBC with Ben Kentish. Call 0345 6060 973. Tweet at LBC. Text 84850.
11:34. Let's be specific here. If you're under the age of 40, are you going to vote? Are your friends going to vote? Do you talk about politics? Do you feel like political leaders listen to you and care about you? I'd love to hear from you this hour. 0345 6060 973 is the number you need. Explain it to me. Why do you think so many young people are switched off from Westminster politics, don't think politicians care about them, aren't going to vote because they don't think it makes any difference? What's happened? What events have taken place to get to that point? And what do you think, if anything, we can do about it? Text here from David says, young people don't vote because they're lazy and stupid. It's as simple as that. Attitudes like that, David, isn't it, that's put them off in the first place? I would put it to you. Talk all about that more in a couple of moments. Let's turn our attention first to the row that's been brewing throughout today after the National Conservatism Conference, where Nigel Farage, Suella Braverman and Miriam Cates were on the speakers, was banned, was shut down by a
Man, I don't feel like doing
Belgium where it was taking place.
I'm just driving and chill.
Outrage from the organisers and the speakers.
I'm too tired of this.
Anne Widdicombe joins us, a Justice spokesperson for Reform UK, also and a former Conservative MP and Minister. I know that the Belgian Prime Minister has criticised this. It hasn't been particularly well received. Is it really as outrageous as some have suggested? Good evening.
Oh yes, good evening. I think it is totally outrageous. It's a complete denial of free speech and of democracy. And it's been known that this conference was going to happen for some time. And I can see no reason at all for simply deciding to ban it. And it doesn't surprise me, that criticism has started to come from various quarters, even in the EU.
Public safety was the reason given. It was closed down in order to guarantee public safety, according to local authorities.
Well, I mean, on that basis, you could close down absolutely any political meeting, and say, oh, well, it's a matter of public safety. I see nothing about the Conservatism Council, consisting as it does of people who've been, senior figures in big Western democracies, like Suella Braverman.
Said BRB.
There's no threat to the public at all. That was just an excuse. That was an excuse to close down something that the mayor did not like.
The mayor says, I issued an order to ban it in this part of the city. He says, the far right is not welcome. Are Nigel Farage and Suella Braverman the far right in your view, Anne?
No, this has started to become a term of abuse when people talk about the far right. Now, as far as I'm concerned, the far right is fascist. There is the right and there is the centre-right, but the far right is not something that is generally experienced in mainstream British politics, and there was certainly nothing far right about some of those very respectable people who were going to speak and address the conference.
I guess people say there are overlaps when you look at the issues that are being talked about, the sort of focus on the nation state, the dislike of immigration and so on. some people would say actually those topics are the things that the far right focuses essentially.
Well, if the control of immigration is a measure, then the Conservative Party and the Labour Party, who both pay lip service to it, must be far right. I mean, it's a nonsense. It's talking about an issue of our time.
And it's good to have you on. Thank you very much indeed. Anne Widdecombe, Justice spokesperson for Reform UK, also a former Conservative MP and Minister. I think she's right, isn't she? You can't go shutting down conferences like this because you don't like the speakers. The idea that Nigel Farage or Suella Braverman, Miriam Cates, the idea they pose a threat to public safety in Brussels, you might not like their politics, you might disagree with how they go about doing it. That's balmy, isn't it? That is ridiculous. I think there's been sort of cross-spectrum condemnation on that today, and rightly so, if you ask me. I think they got that one badly wrong. And thank you again. It is 11:38. Let's come back to our conversation about young people. The suggestion is interesting, I thought, the idea that young people aren't interested in politics because they're not being taught about it in schools, they're not understanding it in schools. And yet, wasn't that ever thus? I mean, if you're in your 40s and 50s, did you have an extensive education in political systems when you were at school? I didn't. I don't think it's necessarily the only explanation, because I think for a long, long time people haven't really been taught about politics in school. Something else is going on that is turning this generation of young people away. What is it? Luke's the first-time caller in Woking. Luke, good to have you on. You are certainly a young person, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. I'm 17. I'm doing my A-levels at the moment.
Good to have you on.
It doesn't sound
I was
17.
calling in as well, and your colleagues actually called me, because I messaged in talking about what Terry said about young people not getting the education and the knowledge as such to what politics is, and even as simple as basically who's leading the country at the moment, because they know like Prime Minister Sunak is leading the country, but they don't know which party he's from.
Most of your friends would know Rishi Sunak, would know who the Prime Minister was.
Yeah,
That's progress. When I was at school, I vividly remember this actually, and we were talking about it, and I was at the time pretty shocked that pretty much none of my friends knew the Prime Minister was at the time who would have been Tony Blair. They just didn't know. So, it's progress in a way.
Absolutely, you know what I mean? And some of them are really engaged in politics generally. I'd like, some of them have, quite interesting views on just generally some issues and, just wanting to be part of politics and voting and etc. But there's some people I know who just are absolutely not engaged at all and just don't have any feel that politics is for them at all, to the extent where they don't even
Some
know
just don't
who the
care.
party is, which I think is honestly probably quite essential.
Pretty important knowledge, that. But I would say if you've got, it's not a sort of personal thing, if you've got to the age of 17, that you've been almost all the way through our education system, at no point has anyone taught you that Rishi Sunak's the Prime Minister and he's a Conservative, then that's a pretty major failing of the education system.
Oh, I think so, yeah. And I mean, I say I'm quite lucky. I chose politics myself for A-level, so I do know who the Prime Minister is.
Yeah.
So young people do have that opportunity, but I do think it has to be quite essential. And the amount of stuff we learn about politics is quite limited, because we have like a tutorial lesson. And my most recent lesson, we did learn about who our MP was. But if you consider that across the entire week, it's an hour and a half out of say 9-10 hours we have in lessons. It's nothing. It's nothing what we get.
And you chose to study politics. Before that, how much were you taught about it?
Very little. I mean, when I was in secondary school, we probably got, I don't know, maybe an hour a week, and we had 25 hours worth of lessons maybe, and that's at best, you know what I mean? Like, not every week we cover politics. We cover, some essential skills, but I still think politics, is essential, and it's the bare minimum.
What would they cover in those lessons, Luke? What sort of things were you taught about when they talked about politics?
Well, in the most recent lesson we had, which funny enough was about politics and who our local.
I like 5 hours to YouTube.
Well, maybe just
hours
looking at what their voting record was, and just like who they are, and what party they stand for. So it's not completely zero, but it's certainly not enough for, I think, what these people are going to be the next voters. You know what I mean? In a year's time, they're going to be voting. Well, some of them are, some of them are probably not, especially those people who don't know what the leading party is. But I think you've got to get people involved, and not giving them the education and the knowledge is not going to help them at all.
It's part of the problem, for sure. The kids, the pupils at your school, your mates that aren't as interested in politics, why do you think that is? I mean, to be fair, 17's quite young. I think a lot of 17-year-olds aren't interested. But, maybe in a few years' time, do you think they would be, or do you think there's something else going on that is just stopping young people caring about anything political, or what's going on in Westminster, at least?
Probably
I think generally they don't feel the effects. I think that there is a genuine point to be made. Of course, they're quite sheltered from the issues of the cost of living crisis, say, or just having to pay tuition fees yet because they haven't gone to university. So I'd like to think that once they go to university, they'll start having more political opinions and then looking into it more. Yeah. But I think I don't really know.
Finding a job, finding a girl.
David says it's because you're all too young and stupid.
No time for politics.
I don't think that's the case at all, to be honest. I know many of the people... because, honestly, many of the people I know who are not that engaged in politics are, really good students. Like, some of the people I know take, law, for example. You know what I mean? I just have no interest in politics whatsoever. But I'm sure part of that is just because they don't get taught.
I wonder, just lastly, Luke, if you agree with me that it's exactly that attitude, it's exactly that sort of snootiness and that condescension from older people that has partly put young people off politics in the first place.
I probably think so too, because like you were mentioning before, I was listening earlier to Keir Starmer removing tuition fees from his promises and his manifesto. There's nothing for us at the moment. I personally would vote, currently in Woking, I'd vote Liberal Democrats because they're the most likely to beat the Conservatives in my view. But I'm only voting Liberal Democrats because they're going to beat the Conservatives. I don't really want to vote for any party. You know what I mean?
Because you don't think none of them offer you anything.
Yeah, and I take politics, but I kind of know the background, but I just don't see what party suits me at the moment.
I don't know shit about politics because I never learn about it.
Particularly among young people, Luke. Great call.
I don't know, they try to explain it to me.
Calling from Woking, 17.
I was
interested in your thoughts on this. Is it about not teaching kids enough in school? Is it what Luke just said, which I think it is, that there's just no politician or party offering young people anything? Is it something else we haven't touched on? Come back to your call.
Politics is just boring.
LBC, coming up tomorrow morning on Nick Ferrari at Breakfast.
It was the question that stumped Foreign Secretary Lord Cameron. Why not shoot down drones over Ukraine as we have for Israel?
If you want to avoid an escalation, the one thing you do need to avoid is NATO troops directly engaging Russian troops.
But how does his Ukrainian counterpart respond to that?
I have new questions to ask, and I'm looking forward to my upcoming meetings, including with Lord Cameron, to have an open discussion.
Don't miss my exclusive interview with Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba.
Nick Ferrari at Breakfast. Back tomorrow morning from 7. Listen on your radio and on Global Player. LBC.
We're so happy that you're so happy. Happy Drains. With over 25 years experience unblocking and repairing drains, we've seen it all, quite literally. Our CCTV inspection means we can diagnose the problem and put it right fast. Whatever your drainage emergency, Happy Drains will take care of it 24/7. Click happydrains.co.uk.
Flying from Luton Airport. The Luton Airport Express takes you from London St Pancras to the terminal in as little as 32 minutes. From just £10. So let's go. Let's go for adventures with friends, sun and sea with the family, or a city escape somewhere romantic. There's no traffic and no stress. So pack your bags and let's go on the Luton Airport Express. Buy your tickets now at lutonairportexpress.co.uk.
Not shopped at Ocado, but you've heard it's the best. Now you can shop for 25% less. Groceries delivered free to your address. There's an Ocado just for you.
First-time customer, get 25% off your grocery shop and free delivery.
There's an Ocado just for you.
New customers only. Minimum spend £60. Max saving £20. Geographical restrictions apply. Conditions at ocado.com. Verify at info@ocadoRetail.com.
I'm Paul Holmes, part of the restorative team at the Dawood and Tanner Dental Practice. We are passionate about preserving your teeth, working to the highest level of precision to provide minimally invasive treatments with a gentle manner in a stress-free environment.
From restorative work to dental implants, Dawood and Tanner, celebrating 30 years at the forefront of world-class dentistry.
To find out more and meet the team, start at dawoodandtanner.co.uk.
This one's for the fed up. This one's for the hot and stuffy. This one's for everyone who thought they couldn't have aircon in their apartment or listed building. Because you can. For years, CallU have supplied and installed fully internal aircon systems with no mess, no fuss, and no external condenser. So head to callu.london today, before the summer's here. CallU, for a cool, comfortable home.
This
I
is
need to
LBC.
drink.
Message Ben Kentish on WhatsApp now on
How am I late?
034560973.
Thanks to Dave in Hull for this text. Have you any idea, Ben, how much use trigonometry and triangles have been to electric communications and so to your very program now? It seems apparently not. Dave, I'm not saying triangles shouldn't exist. I'm not saying maths is pointless and no one ever needs to know it. What I am saying is, if you set the national curriculum, then it is your view that knowing how to measure a triangle, or I don't know, knowing about different types of
How the fuck am I late?
Or, I mean, you can give me some of the examples that you got taught at school. But if your view is that those things are more important than the most fundamental understanding and knowledge of how your country is run,
Jot, why do you think we should play? Let me tell what
then I will fundamentally disagree with you.
I have Life is Strange that I kept, but I haven't played because I want to play it on stream.
Said what was that, sorry?
I said I want to try new games, and I have Life is Strange. I have Beer Factory that I wanted to try. What else? I can try Sekiro, the one with the sword. And that's it, those are the games that I can try. Unless you have another ideas, what should I play?
25 years ago, and I've been British.
I know I could play with some Warframe.
2005, and I've been voting closely and passionately, been involved since age 16 from back home, and I come from dictatorship country. And I was glad that I'm in the democratic country, democracy runs the country, but that kind of things. And I was passionately follow the politician here, voting. And gradually I lost my trust. And since 2 years ago, I don't take part, and I do not want to take part at all. And to be honest, I wanted to leave the country and go live abroad, just mainly because lack of proper promise and action from politicians.
Wow, our politicians are so bad they make you want to leave the country.
So bad. I would say where I come from. I come from Iran, very dictatorship, as you can imagine. And to me, I want to be super honest with you. To me, here, back in the UK, is no different than Iran in terms of deception, in terms of manipulation of the politician, in terms of just self-centered.
Said try new game if you want, I'll be watching.
They don't do anything.
Okay. Well, did you just try to try?
But there's much more freedom.
I actually
there's much more
just try
democracy.
to try.
You can't vote out the government in Iran, can you? You can't vote out the Ayatollah.
Of course, but it's not just freedom. It's action, it's service to people. Look at NHS, look at housing, look at everything. It's going mad. That's not a reason just the politician didn't do what they say, and I'm leaving the country. And definitely,
how did you break the damn trial?
Where would you go?
I will go somewhere, at least have a better safety, and nobody will kill me, and my life is not danger.
Who do you worry is going to kill you here?
But I'm a minicab driver, and always my life is in danger. Somebody attack me. Just this afternoon, somebody attacked me in the street.
Right.
and it's not safety. The last time I voted was for my election in London, and the things turned out was to be mainly my reason for voting election in my election was safety and crime, and not just gone down. It gone up.
But Fabi, I mean, in theory, what people would say to that is, you don't like the way the country's going, vote someone else in instead.
Oh, okay. I tell you another example. Back in 2000, I can't remember, 2007, 2008, when the Nick Clegg was promising tuition fee will be removed.
And I choose to ignore all of it. I don't care. Okay, next game. I wanted to try Nail Factory because I have no idea what to play. So let's try it together. It doesn't show. Maybe it's this. Okay, changing the category. And hopefully it won't be too big. Okay, let's try this one. Normal. Yeah, normal seems okay. Let's see how it is. If it's up, I will switch again. If it's good, we'll keep playing it. Let's not be shit.
With the budget we had, we were able to buy this old factory. Before we start working on it seriously, we will have to put the electricity back on, clean the factory, and do some renovations. The previous owner left a machine in the condemned part of the factory. Maybe we could restore it, while waiting for you to...
Sure, what do we do? How I open it? Blue.
Joel Tadash said beer factory while I'm drinking beer. This is nice.
Okay, let's see. I have coffee. How does this coffee machine even work? And why I need to make a coffee when I can make it beers? Well, either way. Blue. Find grab the fuse. Which one? Wow.
I'm the real owner of this place. Get out of my house.
How am I supposed to draw objects and... This is going to be stupid. Oh. I hate to deal with stupidity. Stupid bomb. Stupid bomb. I will take you down with my car.
Okay, I got
Stupid.
it. I'm leaving.
Well, if you don't, I will throw this fucking garbage at you. Stupid. Okay, back to what I was doing. Loop. So much garbage. Are you done? Okay, I still need a lot more garbages to throw. Okay, vibe room at your tool shop. I need a broom. I need it. At the moment it looked like a cleaning simulator than a beer one. Okay. What a mess. It looks like it's sprayed and cleaning, but okay. So much trash. What a dirty boss. The dirty, dirty boss. Okay, tools unlocked. Equip yourself with a new box. Blue. Open build menu. Storage. I am not. I use this. That is so stupid. Oh god, 4 times I need to do it. Okay, it's a few more. Still horrible choice. Okay. Well, it's all screwed now. One second support. Apply file storage. Until it's later for this portion. No, I'm playing.
Joel Tadash
Honest.
said, "Are you winning the beer soon?" Joel Tadash
I don't
said,
know.
"Son,
I don't know. Give me some chips. I noticed a Coke. There is none. I played by storage. What's a blade? Oh, this. No, that's. Time is a reputation factor tolerance. How the fuck am I doing it? I hate cleaning. Oh, this is so stupid. This is so stupid.
Joel Tadash said it's not stupid, I like this stuff.
How could
Joel Tadash said play Weak Dealer Simulator on the 20th LOL.
I found some subsidies for your factory. You will receive a trade. With this amount, you should be able to destroy the separation of the factory and renovate the
Joel
machines in
Tadash
the back of the factory.
said 4 of the month and 20th day 420.
Okay. I'm too sleepy. What did I eat? Oh, delivery. No. Oh, construction company. And yes. They are a nice machine. That's a big one. It seems like I'm brewing coffee than beer, but okay. Still what a mess. Oh, okay, accept control. Control. Another control. There, where distribute. Distribute there. Current. How much money do I even have? Oh. Let's do 50. $100. Yes. Dry apology. Tried. Oh. How I get out of it? Now I can load it. What did your car get stuck? Oh my god, I hate it. There, I fix.
Joltadash said, looks like you're doing quite nice.
Same. Not real, but okay. I made a big mess. I just put it right here. Oh, this car. Oh. Well, how am I supposed to get it? Oh, because it's a fucking lid. No wonder. I still hate this fucking truck. Oh, I got it. Oh, I don't even need grain crush. To the grain crusher.
Joel Tadash said, I love how you have invisible arms.
Thank you. Oh. Okay, it's all the way around here. That's how I'm supposed to do it. So put it on. A lot of turns to do. Good enough.
Joel Tadash said BRB.
Oh. Clearly, I don't know how to put the damn fucking bag. I think I put too much. Okay, now what? Try now. So why do I put it here? It just fell back. What the fuck did it survive for? I'm just spending money on bullshit and I get nothing. Okay. By what now? For you. For you. I don't have the money to do it. Excuse me. First one. Found it. Okay. There's a lot of back and forth. Now let's see if it works. Press the first for that to do this flash your path for ways else you have a phone in the trunk of the bed. Oh. I can't, I'm done. I'm getting too sleepy for this game. I don't enjoy it. It's just task after task after task. I just go to sleep. This is silly. Oh. But anyway, thank you for joining, Smacky and you, Joe. I go to bed and I'm so done with this game. I will see what we do tomorrow. Good night. Bye bye. Good night. Good night.